I still don't have an intro. Yo. They say Satoru Gojo is the strongest sorcerer alive. He can stop bullets, he can bend space, he can fight curses capable of destroying cities. But could he survive the UK benefit system? Today, we're stripping Gojo of his plot armor. No Jujutsu high, no salary, no 6 eyes. Okay, he can keep those. But he has to navigate one of mankind's greatest creations, paperwork. Can the strongest sorcerer in history prove his identity? Will Infinity protect him from a mandatory Jobcentre appointment? And most importantly, can a man who can teleport make it to his appointment before 9:20 on a Tuesday? Welcome to the most important investigation I've ever wasted my time on. So here's the situation. Through circumstances that are frankly above my pay grade, Satoru Gojo has somehow ended up in the United Kingdom. And more importantly, he's got no money. He's effectively starting from zero. Now, before all the power scalers start typing paragraphs in my comments, no, he can't just teleport back to Japan. He can't sell cursed objects on eBay. And no, he can't rob a bank just because Infinity means the police can't tackle him. We are assuming Gojo is actually trying to be a law-abiding citizen, which means he needs somewhere to live. He needs food. He needs to pay bills. And until he gets to he's going to have to rely on the UK benefit system. Now, you might be thinking, he's literally the strongest sorcerer alive. Exactly. Which raises the question, can the strongest man in anime defeat something every British person fears? Government paperwork. Over the next few minutes, we'll be looking at every hurdle Gojo has to overcome. Can he prevail? Can he prove who he is? Can he actually claim universal credit? Will the Jobcentre believe that his previous occupation was special grade Jujutsu sorcerer? And after all that, will he actually survive long enough to receive his first payment? Let's find out. Exhibit A. Can Gojo prove who he is? First hurdle, Gojo walks into the Jobcentre. Name, Satoru Gojo. Nationality, Japanese, kawaii. Passport, destroyed fighting an ancient curse. Birth certificate, didn't survive the Shibuya incident. Now, unless the DWP has a category for saved humanity multiple times, this is already looking rough. Identity checks exist for a reason. In the real world, you genuinely need to show who you say you are before you can access services. If Gojo arrived with absolutely nothing, he'd have a lot of explaining to do. Although, if he takes his blindfold off, actually never mind. That's probably going to create more questions than answers. Verdict. Not impossible, but definitely not off to a great start. Exhibit B. Residency. Okay, let's pretend Gojo somehow convinces everyone he is, in fact, Satoru Gojo. The next question is, does he actually have the right to stay here? You can't just spawn into Britain like it's a Minecraft world and immediately start claiming benefits. Gojo would need a lawful immigration status and meet the relevant eligibility rules before getting very far. Being able to erase mountains doesn't magically generate paperwork. Unfortunately, Infinity does not extend to visa applications. Verdict. Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. 1. Gojo. 0. Exhibit C. National insurance number. Next obstacle. The national insurance number, basically the government's way of saying congratulations. You officially exist on our spreadsheet. Without one, everyday life becomes a lot more complicated. Imagine trying to explain your employment history. Current occupation, special grade sorcerer. Employer, Jujutsu Kaisen. Reference, a 6-foot panda. At that point, the interviewer isn't calling payroll, they are calling someone else. Verdict. This interview is ending in confusion. Exhibit D. Universal credit. Now we've reached the boss fight. Universal credit. This is where Gojo discovers that the final villain isn't Sukuna, it's online forms, income, housing, savings, identity, appointments, and last but not least, evidence. Everything has to line up. Gojo's entire strategy throughout Jujutsu Kaisen is basically, I'm the strongest. Unfortunately, this isn't one of those options on the application. Question 37. Please explain your current financial circumstances. Well, I accidentally hollow purpled my previous economy. Application. Rejected. Probably. Verdict. High difficulty. Exhibit E. This raises an important scientific question. Can infinity stop emotional damage? Physically, nobody can touch Gojo. But can infinity stop being on hold for 47 minutes? Can it prevent being transferred between departments? Can it stop someone saying, unfortunately, you'll need to call another number? No. Infinity can manipulate space. It cannot manipulate customer service, yo. This may actually be Gojo's hardest fight. Verdict. Infinity has met its natural predator. Exhibit F. The sanction. Imagine this. Gojo gets invited to a Jobcentre appointment. Tuesday, 9 a.m. Instead, he's halfway across the country exercising a curse because old habits die hard. He misses the appointment. Now imagine trying to explain that. Sorry, I couldn't attend. There was a giant cursed spirit trying to level Birmingham. Somehow, I don't think that's going in the accepted reasons column. Verdict. Gojo learns punctuality is a stronger force than cursed energy. Final exhibit. Sukuna reports him. And then, the worst possible outcome. Sukuna decides to become Britain's pettiest hater. Not by fighting Gojo, not by destroying cities, by anonymously reporting him for benefit fraud. Just imagine the phone call. Hello? Hello. I'd like to report someone. What's the issue? He's pretending to be unemployed. Do you have any evidence? He's literally the strongest sorcerer alive. At that point, even Sukuna has become one of those neighbors who watches through the curtains all day. Yeah, I'm talking about you, bitch. Thousands of years of evil reduced to filing complaints. Honestly, this might be the most realistic part of the entire video. So, after conducting an investigation that absolutely should not have taken this long, can Satoru Gojo survive the UK benefit system? Well, let's look at the scoreboard. Physical strength, 10 out of 10. Intelligence, 9 out of 10. Cursed energy, infinite. Ability to survive government paperwork, questionable. Gojo's biggest weakness isn't that he isn't capable, it's that he never had to deal with an ordinary life. He's used to being the strongest person in every room. Unfortunately, the receptionist at the job center doesn't care if you can erase a city block, like I said previously. She just wants the right documents, so here's my official rating. Gojo currently scores a 4.5 out of 10. This is me being generous. He'd probably get there eventually, but only after weeks of confusion, several missed appointments, and at least one government employee quitting because they had to process a man whose previous employer was a secret school for exorcists. After all of that, I've come to one conclusion yet again. Maybe being the strongest sorcerer alive isn't the ultimate power. Maybe the strongest ability is knowing where you left your passport.